guys, welcome to the Vanity Mirror. Today I am going to be doing a full face of drugstore makeup. Now on Thursday, so today should be Saturday when I post this, on Thursday I posted a huge drugstore haul. I bought a lot of drugstore makeup. And I told you in that video that I was going to be doing a full face of makeup for my post on Saturday. So welcome to Saturday. If you have not seen my haul video and you're curious about seeing what I bought before seeing action, pause, go watch my drugstore haul video, and then come back. And even if you're not curious, you should do that anyway. Yeah. So I'll wait.
20 minutes later.
I'll get your back. Let's get started. First drugstore product is this Maybelline Master Prime Blur and Smooth. Let's put that on. So this is gonna be kind of, that was a lot. Oops. So anyways, this is gonna be a kind of like a chatty tutorial style, although I don't really have any look in mind. I'm just kind of winging it. I'm thinking like a really ultra smoky eye maybe, since I did get a smoky eye palette as you saw in the drugstore haul video. So this is the Maybelline Fit Me Matte and Poreless in the shade Natural Beige. We'll see how this color looks. It looks like it might be a tad dark for me, but we are almost in the summer months, so I'm going to assume that my skin will be a little darker soon. Yeah, this looks a touch dark. Look how much lighter it looks on my chin. Do you see that? That's weird. I'm going to blend this in with my Crown BoxyCharm brush that we got in BoxyCharm this month. Immediately I do notice it is a little too dark for me. But like I said, it's almost summer, so, but it is blending out relatively easily. This is also a really good brush, so it looks pretty good. It looks pretty smooth. It has, I would call this like a medium coverage. What do you guys think? Who have used this? Do you feel like it's a medium coverage? Because when your foundation's a little too dark, make sure to blend down. So now that I have that done, we're going to go ahead and jump right into the eyes. So I'm going to start with the NYX eyeshadow base in Skin Tone for my eye primer. The name Skin Tone is ridiculous, but whatever. So I'm guessing this is a lot like the MAC Painterly Paint Pots. I have never used them before, but I'm guessing this is kind of the idea behind those. Oh, this feels a little greasy, like it would crease. I'm going to go into this Smoky Eye palette from NYX. And let's do something with this puppy, shall we? I think I'm going to start with this taupey brown shade here as a transition shade. And I'm going to be kind of sloppy with it. I'm going to go all over the crease and like kind of bring it down onto the eyelid too. So far this one seems to have pretty good pigmentation actually. So this isn't exactly a matte color. I would say it's more of like a satin finish. It's doing a pretty good job. And I think it works as a crease color. It doesn't come off super sparkly or shiny. Alright, once you have the desired pigmentation on the transition color there, I think I'm going to go into the blue next in my crease with a slightly more precise brush than this. So this was a big brush, big fluffy brush. You can find these with any brand, but this happens to be Scone. And I'm going to go in with a Morphe brush from their like blue brush collection. I don't know. Anyway, they're blue. With this like bigger fluffy blending brush. They also have a smaller one like that. But I'm going to go into the blue color. That's this one right here with this brush. And I'm going to put that more precisely in the crease, not really bringing it on the lid or bringing it up too far. Oh, that is pigmented, friends. So this blue is that same kind of satin finish as the brown, and it comes across a little bit more shimmery than the brown did. So be careful with that as your crease shade. Some people might not like that as a crease shade. I know I look a little insane right now, but my idea is to have like a dramatic smoky eye that goes from like a black to blue. I'm actually going to use the brush the palette comes with to go into the totally matte black here and just pat it like all over the lid. See? It's not that bad. These little things, these little guys can do better than I think some people think they can. For a drugstore palette, this is pretty well pigmented, but I mean, it does still take some building up on the lid. I kind of look like I have a black eye right now, so I don't know if that's me or the palette. Whatever. These little sponge applicators work much better swiped. I am actually going to use a flat shader brush a little bit because I want to make sure it looks how it would if I was like normally doing my makeup, and I probably wouldn't use that sponge applicator every day. In fact, it kind of turned out to be a little bit of a pain because it was taking forever. So next I think I'm going to just blend out the edges a little bit using that original first brush that we used the brown in, just to like kind of blend that together a little bit. And I'm going to go back in with that bigger Morphe one into that blue again. I'm touching up the black a little bit because it seems to have gotten slightly less intensified when I was blending. So I'm not gonna lie to you guys, it's looking a little patchy. I'm just gonna sit here blending for a few minutes and see if that helps. The black, no matter what I'm doing using this brush or anything, it's just looking a little patchy. So next I am going to take that same flat shader brush using the same side that I put the black on, and I'm going to go into this sparkly black color. Sorry about that. And I think I'm going to try to just add some like to the center of my lid for a little like a little glitter instead of like all over. Let's see how that goes. I don't think you're going to be able to see that. You know what? Screw it. I'm going to do the whole lid and see how that looks. It's a like bluish black sparkly color. So there's not very much sparkle. The sparkles seem to just disappear, or just not very much are coming off at once, and also I'm getting a little bit of fallout. I'm not really surprised. I kind of figured that I would get fallout from this eyeshadow. They're a little patchy. I think maybe I tackled too intense of an eye, maybe. I don't know. We'll see how it looks when it all comes together. I felt so hard on the palette, you know? Like, let's just see how it looks when it all comes together. I'm gonna use this smaller, more precise blending brush in that brown color. And I'm gonna just blend a little bit more on the edges. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, this is a patchy hot mess. I'm kind of bummed. I would say these shadows will probably be good for maybe a simpler look, but this is just looking like a patchy, not very pigmented, just hot mess. I'm going to use this kind of wide paddle fluffier brush, and I'm going to go into the white, which is also kind of a satin finish, and I'm going to highlight my brow bone with that. Okay, I'm also going to go back into that white again, and I am going to highlight my inner corners with it. We're going to continue the eyes later. Let's first clean up the edges and then continue with our face. It could be worse, but I'm definitely not digging the eyeshadow. I'm sad. Okay, let's continue with the face and then we will get back to that. Let's go into concealer. I'm going to be using the NYX HD Studio Concealer, and I'm in the shade Glow. I'm going to highlight the under eye area. I'm going to blend that in using my Beauty Blender. So this concealer has really good coverage. It just looks nice. It looks nice and creamy over the skin. I like it a lot. So the other drugstore concealer I use is the Maybelline Fit Me, and I think it definitely it creases more than that one does. I'm gonna use this e.l.f. Under Eye Setting Powder and put that on the floor. It doesn't seem to do much for illumination. Definitely creasing up quite a bit. I thought maybe this would be more illuminating than it is. I'm gonna use the Wet n Wild mattifying powder, in translucent mattifying powder, and set my whole face with it. I have told you guys before that I am very oily, so I like being matte. Obviously I like some luminescence. I don't want to be like just in completely matte. I do like how it looks on my skin. So next we're gonna go into a bronzer. Here's the bronzer palette from Elf that I got right here, and I think I'm gonna use this one up in the corner here. It's shiny and probably one of the darkest colors in the palette. I'm gonna take this big bronzer brush from Sephora, put some like right on the edge there, and carve out my cheekbone with it. And I'm gonna go ahead and color my forehead a little bit. Okay, next blush. We're also gonna be going into the Elf blush palette that looks like this, and I think I'm gonna go with, for this look, I don't want to be too pink in the cheeks, so I'm actually gonna go into this like dark peach color. Very powdery. So I am starting to look pretty powdery, so we'll see how the setting spray helps that. Coming across more subtle than I thought it would, so I'm trying to like build up the color. Maybe it'll come across more on camera than it is in person. Starting to lose my light a little bit, so let's keep it going. Highlighter. Essence Pure Nude Highlighter in Be My Highlight. Is some of that? Like I said in the haul video, this is a very, very subtle highlight, and I was like on my hand it was super subtle. If I build it up too much, it's gonna start looking really powdery. I don't know if you can see my highlight. Okay, now that we're pretty much done with the face now. Let's go back into that eyeshadow palette, grab that purple, and we're gonna smudge it on the lower lash line. Next we're gonna do a wing liner, so let's do that. I have hooded eyes, so I don't like too thick on the upper lash line. I like to just do a thin line. I'm not very good at wing liners, and I know some people say that and then they're like slaying it, but I honestly am not very good at it. I'm still learning, so I'm gonna go very slow. I'm gonna match up with that line that I drew there on the cat eye. The wing is a little thick, but it actually turned out okay. And for how dramatic of a look it's supposed to be anyway, it looks pretty good. Now let's try to do the same thing on the other side. I told you I wasn't super great at this, but I mean, they don't look horrible. This one's just a little higher. We're rolling with it. Let's keep going. Next we are going to go in with mascara, and I'm going to be using the Voluminous Million Lashes from Loreal. Not sure how I feel about this mascara. It just doesn't seem to be doing much for me. Okay, so this mascara is so-so. It definitely gave me a little bit of length and a little bit of more voluminousness, but I mean, nothing super duper special. I'm gonna do this NYX eyebrow pencil in Brunette. It is the NYX Micro Brow Pencil. I'm gonna go ahead and just fill in my brows with that. Looks alright. I don't know, to me it just kind of does look like I just colored in my eyebrows. I don't know, but maybe I just need to get better at my technique for doing eyebrows. You never know. I could be the problem. So I'm now going to set my face. Maybelline Master Fix Face Studio Setting Spray, Wear Boosting Setting Spray. Wow. Oh, that mist goes everywhere, but it's nice and smooth though. Okay, and the very last thing is we're gonna do lips. And I am going to be using Stolkholm from the NYX Soft Matte Lip Creams. That actually isn't too bad. It's subtle, and it has like a slight hint of kind of a salmon pink to it, which I think doesn't take away from the look at all. Well, you guys, there you have it. A full face using only drugstore products. All of these products I've never owned before in my life. So this was my first time using them, my first time playing with them. So this was also kind of a first impressions with all of this makeup. It's kind of hard to pick a favorite thing. Nothing stood out to me as really, really bad. Honestly, my least favorite thing is probably the eyeshadow palette, just because of how patchy it kind of came across. It looks okay in the final look. No major complaints, but it is patchy, a little difficult to work with. The sparkly color is kind of a bunch of crap, to be honest with you. Like, I don't even have sparkles on my lids anymore. They're gone. The foundation looks actually really nice on my skin, other than the fact that it's a little too dark for me. So I don't know, I think I'm okay with everything that I got though. I could see myself using, honestly, all of this. I won't just not use this. Thank you guys so much for joining me as I tried out all these products. I hope you enjoyed this video, and stay tuned because Tuesday will be my how I did my makeup in high school, and my best friend will be joining me, so make sure you tune in for that. Thanks for watching, you guys. I will see you later. Hey guys, welcome to the Vanity Mirror. If you good start. Excuse you. It's my panda got in the way.